Alright, so here's how we are making circle graphs in class, in case you missed it. And some of you did. So, here we go. So here's the worksheet we did, SOL 610, just-in-time quick check. So Ramon asked students in his class to name their favorite sport. The data he collected is shown below. 20 students chose basketball, 10 chose baseball, 5 students chose football, and 5 chose swimming. So we have to create and label a circle graph to display the data Ramon collected. The first thing we're going to do is, well, let's just put the numbers down. So we have 20 in basketball, 10, baseball, 5, football, and 5 swimming. So in our first column, we're just going to go ahead and create our fractions. So when we add these up, 20 plus 10 plus 5 plus 5 is 40. And just in case you forgot, you are going to use your Desmos calculator, which is, and I can't type, so it is www.desmos.com/scientific. Right here. Let's put that there. Let's add them up. 20 plus 10 plus 5 plus 5. So I have a total of 40 students. So a fraction is a part to a whole. So my whole, or the total number of students I have, is 40. Therefore, 40 is going to be my denominator. Let me see if I can type this, because this is getting on my nerves right now. And which makes my numerator 20 for basketball. For baseball, I have 10. And my denominator is still 40. Football, I had 5 students choose football. Let me change that. And 5 also chose swimming. So what this means is, out of 40 students, 20 out of 40 students chose basketball, 10 out of 40 students chose baseball, 5 out of 40 students chose football, and 5 out of 40 students chose swimming. When I add those up, now you can add up, when I'm adding fractions, my denominator is the same, so my denominator is 40, and I'm going to add the numerator, which is 20 plus 10 plus 5 plus 5, and we know that that is 40. So that's going to be 40 over 40. Now we're going to change these to decimals. And in order to change my fraction into a decimal, that is the numerator divided by the denominator. So that's going to be 20 divided by 40. That gives me 0.5. And I'm going to click on the blue button to give myself a fresh line. 10 divided by 40. That's going to give me 0.25. 5 divided by 40 is going to give me 0.125, and 5 again divided by 40 is 0.125. So the thing about a circle graph is that it has to equal to 100%. So let me just add up all of my decimals to make sure I get 1. So that's 0.5 plus 0.25 plus 0.125 plus 0.125. And yep, that is equal to 1 or 1.0. Now my percent, in order to give me a percent, let me put this in here. My percent is my decimal times 100. This one was numerator divided by denominator. So my decimal is, in order to get my percent, I'm going to take my decimal, multiply it by 100. So my first decimal is 0.5, so that's 0.5 times 100, which is going to give me 50. And I'm going to add my percent sign for 50%. 0.25 times 100, that is 25 or 25%. 0.125 times 100, that is going to give me 12.5%. And the same thing for swimming, which is 12.5%. When I add those up, again, I should have 1 or 100%. So that's 50 plus 25 plus 12.5 plus 12.5. And yeah, I have 100%. So I have my chart filled out. Now the easiest thing to do is to draw my circle graph. So the first thing I'm going to do is put a dot right smack in the middle. Yeah, drawing it. There you go. And then I'm going to make my circle graph. So 50%, if I were to put that in a fraction, that's going to be half. So I'm going to draw a straight line down the middle. I'm going to label it 50%. And I'm going to put basketball. My next one is baseball. And my percent is 25%. So 25% is 1/4 or a quarter. And if I think of it as a clock, here is my 12 and here is my 3. That is a quarter or 25% of a circle. Or in this case, 25% of the circle graph. And that covers my baseball. My last two is football and swimming. So football and swimming are 12.5 and 12.5. And I have one space left. And since that is the same number, I'm going to split that space evenly in half, as even as I can. And I'm going to have 12.5% in football. And I'm also going to have 12.5%, and excuse my spelling. I'm also going to have 12.5% in swimming. And there is my circle graph. So in sum total, what you're going to do is first make a chart with your fractions, decimals, and percent. and then you're going to fill those percent in as close as you can on the circle graphs. Let me know if you have any questions.